welcome back. I am starting here with a sanded and prepped 20-ounce straight from the Glitter Ranch. There's a discount code below. I was measuring to see how long the cup was. It was 8 inches, and I wanted to put it at about 3.5. I wanted to do 3.5 inches down and then go down from there from the stripes, because mathematically it worked out. So what I was doing there was taking the tape and putting it on my shirt to kind of take some of the stickiness off, because this was just a spray painted cup. I used like a leather brown, but any kind of brown would work. We're going to be covering it up, but I just kind of wanted that base. So I didn't want any of the paint to come up. So I was having a little bit of trouble trying to figure out exactly. It was not going on there straight, but it was only because it was my fault. But I finally eventually got it on there. So I just put a little bit of epoxy right there on the top, and I'm going to cover it in Giraffe from the Glitter Ranch. It is just a fine metallic. It's just kind of a chocolatey brown, because I didn't want a black. I wanted it to be I just wanted to have it kind of a little bit of softness. I didn't want that harsh black look to it. So after that, I took Cheetah, also from the Glitter Ranch, and Cheetah is actually a custom mix that was made by Becky, and she put Giraffe in with the Cheetah, so it kind of has a little bit of speckles of the giraffe in there. So I thought it would kind of just give us just a tiny bit of sparkle in that brown. And then also when I kind of shook it off, if any of that giraffe got in there, it's not a big deal because it's, you know, in the mix anyway. So I thought it would just kind of give us a little bit more shimmer to that giraffe. And right after you're done glittering it, you want to make sure you take that tape off so that it doesn't get cured to the tape, and then you have a bigger problem later. Now I took this Leopard vinyl that I got from 95 Vinyl, and I cut it into 1/2-inch strips. Now I probably would advise you to use your Cricut. Mine has been giving me fits lately, and so I just didn't even want to deal with it. So I just pulled out my cutter and just put it at 1/2 inch, and I just sliced them down that way. But I would probably advise, just to get accuracy going all the way down, to just use your Cricut if you have one. If not, use the cutter, it will be fine. So here I was showing, I cut 4 strips for the 20 ounce. If you were doing a bigger size, you'll have to figure that out. But I'd cut 4 1/2-inch strips of the Leopard vinyl, and then I was using the 1/2-inch double-sided tape going down, and so therefore it allowed me to have an even amount and left me with just a little bit of a gap at the bottom, which was perfectly fine. So my best advice would be to make sure that you get the top part as perfectly even, you know, around the cup, and accurately, you know, straight all the way around the cup before you go into this next step. And then you want to make sure you get that very first strip of that vinyl going exactly the way it needs to go, you know, straight around the cup. And then after that, you're pretty much golden, because everything else is the same size. It's going to go right down, you know, the cup perfect. And you just want to take your time and put this on carefully. Make sure you're putting them side by side, because if you take your time in the beginning, it saves you from having trouble later on, or just things not coming out evenly. Okay, so we start off with Crue from Peachy Olive Glitter, and it was in the new palette for the month of April, I think. And then I'm using 10 Carat Metallic Fine from the Glitter Ranch. Then I was using Zuri from Peachy Olive Glitter. And Zuri and Crue are kind of a square cut, and they're a little bit larger than the other metallics. So I kind of wanted that difference. And then this is Longhorn Fine Metallic from the Glitter Ranch as well. So if you've followed my channel, you've seen me do double-sided tape plenty of times. But this is just very, very simple. You're going to pull that tape off. You are going to rub it in to make sure that that glitter lays flat. And then you want to brush off any excess on the side before you open up that next piece of tape so that none of that glitter gets in there as well. And you just keep going. And like I said, that first one was kind of a chunky, and then the next one was a real fine metallic. So it kind of gave a little bit of a, a unique look to each stripe. And can we just take a moment for this Zuri? If that's not the prettiest teal you've ever seen, I don't know what is. That deep, dark teal, it's just so gorgeous. I had to use it. And it's actually a square cut, so the shimmer and the shine of it, it's just really phenomenal. So I'm a polyacrylic girl, but I got this little sample of the quick coat and I decided that I would go ahead and try it. So I had already spray sealed the top part of that brown because I knew when I was going to be messing around with putting all of the stripes on there that I didn't want that giraffe and cheetah to kind of get mixed up in the rest of it. So I'd already spray sealed that a few times, but these little stripes, I wanted to make sure that we weren't dragging glitter back and forth over the cup. So I just kind of took a little paintbrush and I just barely put a little bit on each one of those stripes. Lifesaver hack here, use a Dremel to sand down that little piece at the top to give you a little exposure of the stainless steel so that when you put that coat of epoxy on there, it has something to cling to. It's a total lifesaver, this Dremel. I got it for Christmas. I think it's like 30 or 40 bucks, and you can get a little pack of those 80 grit sanding wheels right there on Amazon. I'll put that in the link below. And I think it's like 10 bucks. It's absolutely worth it. And after I do the Dremel, I just take a little sanding block and I kind of sand down any pieces that were kind of rough or hard there. I sand around the bottom, I sand around the cup, anywhere I feel like there might be a little something that I want to get down. And that's basically it before we're going to put our vinyl on. So here we get into the design space portion of this tutorial. Now, what we're trying to achieve is this look right here. Now, what I'm going to show you is I wanted to actually use waterslide paper because I was doing a whole bunch of other things that I needed waterslide paper for. So I wanted to show you how I used this as a waterslide over vinyl and on that dark piece of that dark, giraffe color. So here is the image, and I will link down below where I got this. It was a free image when I got it, but I don't know if it will be free when I link it. So here I'm showing how to do an offset. Now, I was showing how the square does not look right on this, so you want to do round. And I did it at a 0.02 because I really didn't want it to be that big, right? Well, this was for the white portion that we're going to put underneath. So there, I'm just centering it just to kind of get to see what it looked like to make sure that that was the look I wanted to go for. And so now I'm going to take it and make a little bit bigger size underneath the white, which is going to be a black vinyl. Now, I just take this and what I'm going to do, the little toggle there is very sensitive, so I just typed it out. I just kind of kept typing it to where until I got the one that I really wanted or the look that I was going for, the size. And so I just typed out the number there and pushed apply, and it gave me a little bit larger size, which is what I was looking for. Now I have a black, which I'm going to do black vinyl, and then I have the white vinyl that's going to go on top of the black vinyl. What I'm going to do is bring this forward here. I'm just going to send the black one to the back and then go bring that white piece there. And then this is going to go on top, and that is going to be a water slide. So we're going to be able to apply that on top of those two vinyl pieces. It also gives you kind of a unique look. You'll have to see it in the end. So right after this, we're going to go to make it. Now, this is what I wanted to show y'all. So all of those pieces, because we started off with them as the print and cut, are going to be print and cut. So what we're going to do is go up to this up here and change it to a basic cut. And it's going to change it to a gray. We're going to change it to black only because we want it to be black. And that's the only reason why we're changing the color. It doesn't really matter, just so we can differentiate from that. So then we're going to change this one to white because we're going to use white vinyl on that one. And then we'll be able to, and I'm just showing y'all how I'm just putting it back together because I just want to make sure everything looks right before I do it. It's just just something from my own personal thing that I just make sure it looks right before I go to make it. So now we have just the one thing as a print and cut and the other two as a basic cut. So I always do two just in case, but we don't necessarily need the two of the other two. Once you hit make it, it's going to bring you to print setup. So you're going to take add bleed off because you do not want a bleed on there if it's just a water slide, because you're going to be cutting this off the mat anyway, and so it doesn't really matter. You're going to want to hit that use system dialog and then hit print. And what that's going to do is bring up your printer. Now I have an HP Microsoft program, so this is what it's going to look for me. I'm going to hit preferences right there, and then I'm going to hit paper type, and I'm going to go to photo paper, and that is going to allow for that water slide paper to be a little bit more thick so it kind of knows what it's printing on. And then you're going to hit best, and that just gives you the best quality print. And with the water slide or print thin cut vinyl, you want to use a better printing for it. It's just going to come out a lot better. So now that I've probably thoroughly confused you with what I talked about, here it is in real life. I cut the offset, the black offset with this chrome black shiny vinyl. I will put that link down below. It is pretty awesome. And then after I cut this one, I used a white vinyl and I cut the white piece to put over that black vinyl there. Okay, I ended up taping this down because it would not stop bubbling up. So I taped this down so I could put that white piece over that and get it centered just right. And then after that, I was able to put it on the cup. The first one I put on here, right here, is so crooked, it was ridiculous. So I had to rip it off, put a new one on, and there we go. So that's much better. Now, where are we going to go from here? We are going to take our print and cut on our water slide that we have sprayed 3 times with a clear gloss spray, and we're going to toss it in the water. Now I'm going to take the little squeegee there. I'm going to put a little bit of water on this vinyl just to get it a little bit wet. I'm going to let that print and cut piece sit in the water for probably about 30 seconds, I would say. After 30 seconds, take it out of the water, and you're going to slide it on like you would any water slide. It's going to slide right over that white vinyl. You just put it into place and squeegee out. I just dry it off just a little bit. I don't want too much of the water. I don't want to dry it out too much. So I just take a little bit of the water off of there, and then I just take a little bit of water and kind of squeegee out all of those little air bubbles, because it is sitting on top of 2 pieces of vinyl, so there's a little bit more possibility of air bubbles. So just take your time, check it out, make sure it looks okay, and get those bubbles out before you epoxy it. After this, you want to let this dry for probably about an hour or more, and I sealed it with a little bit of Mod Podge, and then I put 2 final coats of epoxy on there, and this was the result. So I posted this first view of this on TikTok, and I am up to 6,500 views at this point. I had no idea that this look would get that much attention. I hope you love it. I hope it is something that you can recreate. I think this could go 1,000 different ways with 1,000 different colors. I just thought this vinyl that I got a humongous roll, and so I thought I need to use it, and so I decided I would use it. And when I found this image with the leopard and the colors, I tried to match the color with the glitter and match that leopard, and I think it turned out awesome. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.